on the strength of what they've seen so far in Algeria, the local players played against Madagascar in the first game. Then the second game we played against Sudan, we won. The first game we lost by one goal to Madagascar, and the second game we won by 3-1. What are these saying?
What do you want to say? I don't want you to run the local players under the bus this morning.
No, have I run them under the bus?
So what's your point?
They've run themselves under the bus. They themselves have run themselves under the bus. They have done that. I'm not doing that.
Based on 2 matches.
So how many matches do you want to be convinced that they are not good enough? Most of them are not good enough, or even all of them are not even good enough to play for the Black Stars.
Javier, I mean, not to as it were. Not to engage you in a banter, but you see, we have seen players being invited to the Black Stars on a consistent basis. They churn out poor results, poor output, poor performance, yet they are always called into the national team. So a local player plays only 2 matches.
If that's the argument you want us to have, then
no, but we have seen that with the Black Stars too.
So we must also invite inferior local players, because we've had situations where we've had some players who are inferior and they play for the Black Stars, or they've been invited consistently. So we must also invite inferior players. If you want us to have the argument, then I agree with you.
No, please, that's
but
not
what
I'm
saying.
But the
point I'm making is this: that look at the quality of material that we have assembled in Algeria. Our first game that we played against Madagascar, the second game that we played against Sudan, and tell me if you have any player, or if you have cited a single player who is good enough to play for the Black Stars.
Not really. Maybe a Bagner, but I mean, the position that he plays currently in the Black Stars is not going to, as it were, displace any of the midfielders in the Black Stars.
So it tells you that we don't have quality. So when some of us say that we don't have quality local players sometimes to play for the Black Stars, and you come at us, I mean, you are not being very fair to the issue. They've been given opportunity to prove themselves elsewhere or somewhere in Algeria. And look at the performance that they are churning out.
Didn't you see improvement in that game against Sudan?
Improvement yet, but are they quality enough for Black Stars? That's the point I'm making. We are looking at the senior national in the Black Stars.
Well, I don't think so.
Yeah, so that's the point I'm making. That our league has gone down. We don't have quality locally again. In a few years back, that the coach was talking about, signed for FC Zurich. He's a semi-professional, or is he already
he's a professional?
Already a professional player. No, maybe a semi-foreign-based professional player. Let me put it that way. Has he been good enough for the Black Galaxies
in this tournament?
Yes.
No.
Has he been good enough?
No.
I agree with Coach when he mentioned Agadas and Richmond Lamptey. But I think that's one or two other guys that may be on any given day. You want them to also be included on the list. So I watched the Galaxies play, and I asked myself why Agadas is not in the team. He's one fine player. Very, very, very fine player. Combative in midfield, defensively is very good. But he was not even selected. Then they select Kofi Koji. I mean, the guy has just forgotten how to play football. Real football anymore. But he's in the team.
Yeah.
Look at his performance against Sudan.
Poor. Very, very bad.
So why was he selected?
No, you see.
How many goals has he scored in the domestic league?
I think that Kofi Koji was selected to suit a certain style of play. So for example, if you are playing a game that chances are difficult to come by, most coaches resort to long balls, crosses, and what have you. So Kofi Koji, being that sort of player who see that profile, bulky striker like a Didier Drogba in the 18-yard box, rubbing shoulders with the defenders, with area doers and what have you. But to my surprise, this guy decided to abandon the 18-yard box. And many a time, he was hugging the line. He was rather on the touchline, racing with the Sudanese players. You can't even run. You can't run. You don't have that ability. Why do you want to hug the line and, as it were, race the Sudanese player? You can't. So
the point I'm making is that, did we get our selections right for this competition? Are there some players that we could have? I mean, we will always come back and talk about some of these things, and it's rather too late. Rather always come back and talk about some, whether we normally get our selection to some of these major competitions right. Whether we select the right players for competitions. Because just like Coach said, there are so many quality players that we've left behind.
Yeah. The top scorer at the moment in the Ghana Premier League, they don't go to the Chan tournament.
So many of them that we've left behind. Then when it comes to the issue of the Black Stars, we want our top scorer to be in the Black Stars. But our top scorer is not good enough to be in the local Black Stars. To be with its peers. It's not good enough to be with its peers. But instead, we decided to go for somebody who has scored how many goals in the Premier League so far, in the Ghana Premier League so far? Somebody who can't even run. I think in the second game.
So the top scorer in the Ghana Premier League is Mizak Afi Brekum, 7 goals. Kofi Koji, I'm trying to confirm the number of goals that he has scored for Lagos City FC this season.
Is it 1? I think 1 also. Check for me. But I think at this time round we got this time round I'm talking about the second. We got our selection right. So if you go through the list of players that played the first game that we played against Madagascar, it was Danlad Ibrahim, Augustine Randolph, who made a mistake leading to the second goal that we conceded. Then it's Nkrumah Kosa, Kuneri Yadom, Solomon Adomakun, Razak Kasim, David Abagna Sandam, Dominic Insobila, Glasson Awako, Daniel Friebani, and Razak Yusuf. These are the players who played and in the first match that we played against Madagascar. But in the second half, there were some substitutions, though. Then versus Sudan, we had Danlad Ibrahim, Solomon Adomakun, Kunedu Yadom, Augustine Japan, Denis Kosa Nkrumah, Sylvester Simba, David Abagna Sandam, Dominic Insobila, Jonah Tukui, and Kofi Koji, and Daniel Friebani. So what it means is that from our first game to the second game that we played, we made as many as 4 changes to our starting 11.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 changes to our starting 11. So we brought Augustine Japan, Sylvester Simba, Jonah Tukui, and Kofi Koji in the second game. And we took out Augustine Randolph, Glasson Awako, Razak Yusuf.
Was injured anyway.
Yeah, Razak Yusuf and Razak Kasim. These are the 4 players that went out. I think that we got some extent our selection right. My problem with the Galaxy so far is that in defense, I think that we are still struggling in defense. Yes, I don't think that the partnership between Adomakun and Yadom has come very good for us in this competition. It has not come good for us in this competition. So it's as if they've not played for a very long time, and because of that understanding of the position of one person from the other, or how to go in for the tackles, who to go for the tackles, who to go for the area ball and things like that, it's still missing in the way they play so far. Then in midfield, I think that the midfield so far has been one of the few areas that I can say we've been able to improve. So the Simba guy, the Abagna, and the other guys who came to midfield for me did so well in a game against Sudan. But up front, there's still a problem.
Okay.
We get a ball, and it's as if we don't know what to do with the ball.
We are not incisive up front.
Yeah, we don't know what to do with the ball. Free Banier, Kofi Koji, and the other guys up front, for me, they need to up their game a little. Because the tournament, I've seen a lot of countries in the tournament, and I can tell you for a fact, Steve, that some of them are very, 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 very good. Okay. Some of the teams that I've seen so far.
Yeah, Libya really convinced me, even Algeria, the host nation.
Yes. Some of the teams that I've seen so far have played very, very, very good football. So we need to improve our game to make sure that at least we win the tournament. It's not about prayers, it's not about just hoping, it's about getting the right mindset, getting the right selection, and getting the right game plan and strategy so that at least we can move on in the competition. Okay,
so you are right. Kofi Koji has scored only one goal this season in the Ghana Premier League. It was even a penalty.
He scored 1 goal
against Kotoko Royals, 21st December 2022.
He scored 1 goal, yes.
In the Ghana Premier League. And Javier, do you share this view that Barnier should not have been taken to the tournament?
No, I think that he should have been there. He must be there.
Yeah.
He must be there.
Because look, Javier, I mean, we are human beings. Realistically, he has signed a pre-contract with FC Zurich.
But that's to be expected. I mean, he's, whether we like it or not, I mean, leave him here to do what? Play for Hasselhoff? Because if he had not been in Algeria, he'd still be playing for Hasselhoff.
Or maybe, I mean, he will be in Switzerland.
No.
The contract would have taken effect.
No, but he still has a contract with Hasselhoff.
Yeah, in 1 month. It was because they wanted him to play the CHAN. So I'm saying that if this deal came on board before he renewed his contract with Accra, or contextually before he decided to renew his contract with Accra and play the CHAN, maybe he should have forgotten about the CHAN and then move straight to Switzerland and let's move on.
But that's not going to be the first time. I think at the other time, Nuhu Adams gave us examples of players who have signed pre-contracts with some clubs and still played at the CHAN tournament and moved on to play for their clubs after the CHAN competition.
That's true.
It's not the first time that's happening. No, that's happening. Let me put it that way. And for me, whether we like it or not, he's one fine player.
Yeah,
he's a very, very good player. I mean, we've seen him play for House of Folk to the extent that he even made a list to Qatar with the Black Stars for the World Cup. So he's a very good player, and leave him here. Still has a contract with House of Folk for him to play for us and not the Black Galaxies or for Ghana. I think that it's a good decision. What I'm expecting him to do Just to get over what he, and then he's a human being, and sometimes some of the decisions or some of these things are very difficult things to do. I mean, you have a contract with FC Zurich, which you move on to after the competition. Tournament. So you're going for those hard tackles,
exactly.
You run around, you know, pick up an injury here and there. But once he has a contract, he has a contract. So even if he gets injured or not, he's still an FC Zurich player. So I don't know if the team has a psychologist who can talk to him. In the first game, for me, he was completely off. I was also very happy with his body language, with this gum and chewing gum, and his body language is massa, experience, above you, above everybody in the team, attitude that he put up in the first game that we played against Madagascar. Okay. But I think in the second game, he was very good. Unfortunately,
got a red card.
Yeah, we are going to miss him. If Ghana should make it to the next stage of the competition, we are going to miss him. But in his absence, I think that, just like Chris said, I think we have some very good players. There were two guys who came on in the second half. I think that he's also very
good player.
He played very well. And for me, on any given day, I was starting ahead of Kofi Koji.
Okay, so that was Javier Clemente with his take on the chant